All right, welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by Games and Things. If you're looking to create a home theater room for your family, start at Games and Things with their home theater seats. If you're looking to create a game room for your family, start at Games and Things. They have a massive allotment of table games, big games, small games. They got it all. Games and Things, because life should be fun, and boy, they make it fun. OurGameRoom.com to learn more. Get out and check out their showroom. It is fantastic. Carve out a couple hours because you're not going to want to leave once you're in there. All right. People are always talking about a super league made up of all the best teams. You know, people say, it'll be 64, it'll be 48. Okay, so to have fun, just to put this in perspective, I created a little 60-team deal. What I did was I took the 68 power teams you have now. I wanted to get it to 60, so I whacked out 8 teams. I just went with the biggest 60 in terms of average attendance over the last 5 years. Okay. And then I put them all 12 divisions of 5 teams each. And somebody's going to get screwed over in this because to try and make it match where you can keep all these rivalries alive, it's tough because there's more teams in the East and the West, there's more in the Southeast. So in the center, you kind of get messed up. So once again, just to show Tennessee fans that sometimes you can be the one that's screwed, I screwed Tennessee in this scenario, just to give it an idea of what it would look like. Although I don't think it's that bad. It's interesting.
History says that's going to happen anyway.
That's right. Let's take a look at this. All right. So you got a Mountain Division, Midwest, Central, Northeast. This is everywhere. And you see in the Central Division, Indiana, Kentucky, Ohio State, Purdue, and Tennessee. Because if you're going to try and keep all these rivalries alive, somebody's going to get moved around. And unfortunately, it's kind of the center of the country where everything gets moved around, and you're dead center. It's easier to move everybody else around. But the point is it could be mixed up a million different ways. This way, though, allows you to keep and relaunch a million different rivalries. I mean, all the great rivalries are here. You're throwing out Vandy, you're throwing out Kansas, you're throwing out Northwestern and Wake Forest. Okay, so it's not huge names that are going. The other thing, if you played your 4 permanent rivals here and then 3 other from other divisions, let's say Tennessee had Alabama and Florida in there. So you'd be adding Ohio State every year. You could keep Alabama and Florida. Give them Georgia Tech, an old traditional rival if you're scared of playing Georgia too. But you could keep all your traditional rivals, and it allows you to keep tons of them. The point is, this looks nice and neat. And you pick your 60 or whatever, make it a 40-team league with 10, and there's 4 divisions, whatever. The question I have, though, everybody points to this and says it's coming. I don't think it is. Because do you know how many contracts are going to have to be broken to get to that? In terms of TV deals, buyouts from leagues just falling apart, new system, if that's a new system other than the NCAA. I just don't see it all happening like that. Am I wrong? It just seems like this is going to be a lot of evolution as opposed to, oh yeah, it's going to be a super league and it's going to do this.
Yeah, I don't see that. To me, the only way a super league happens is if it's, say, a cooperative between the Big Ten and the SEC, and they just bring their own 4 divisions and put it all together, and they negotiate their own TV deal and split it down the middle or something. That's the only way I could even see it. So I'm with you. That seems like a few evolutions away from where we are now.
Yeah,
I think it would take a lot.
Yeah, whether it's 60 or 40, everybody just seems to think it's going to be a simple deal. There's a lot of paperwork involved in that. There's going to be a lot of lawsuits when it happens.
Yeah, your TV contracts in some instances run out
2036 versus 2030.
Yeah.
Yeah.
for a long time.
Yeah.
You throwing out Vanderbilt, by the way, makes me wonder if we can work relegation into the next format of whatever this is.
I'm for whatever relegates Vanderbilt.
That would be tremendous.
So a college football Premier League, and then you have your second division below that.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, maybe in 20, 30 years where these big conferences have become so huge, but the funny idea there is maybe they would break up into 5 big divisions, call them like the ACC and the SEC, something like that, and we just go back to the early 90s. But that what you just showed us, it makes sense from a spreadsheet standpoint. It doesn't make sense with the humans that are involved with it right now who would all have to come to an agreement and break up everything that you just talked about.
I remember as a kid, I used to get Sports Illustrated, Inside Sport, and Sport Magazine. Now people are saying, what is a magazine? But got all 3 of those, and one of those, either Sport or Inside Sport, I remember late 80s, it broke down what a Super League is going to look like. And it had like 48 teams or 60 teams, and it looked just like that. And they've been talking about it for 40 years, and it's still not here. It's evolving to it, but it's not going to be we're all going to be a Super League and they'll do this. Have you thought about what it's going to take to get to that Super League? Tyler, we all talk about it. Everybody talks about it. Check YouTube. It's everywhere. I just don't think it's as simple as people think.
No, I think what you just showed less than 45 seconds ago is a last-ditch effort. We have exhausted all options. This is where college football is going, and now here are the fit of the fit. The survival, it's now here, and let's break it up. And anybody else who doesn't make this list, well, sorry, we hate it for you. Back to Ryan's point, so that would mean that the Big Ten, per se, or the SEC, the new name conferences, all got together and agreed on something, and they weren't being selfish.
Right.
Again, last-ditch effort.
Yeah. Okay.
And no one's going to sacrifice their power and money. If the SEC has a money leg up on the Big Ten, they're not going to say, let's throw all together and share.
Why would the Big Ten, which has the
Yeah.
advantage right now?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. When we come back, will the powers that be, will the leagues, be happy with their cash? Or are they all going to wake up in a few years with a really big hangover and a lot of regrets? We'll discuss that next. Come on back.